Hey everybody, welcome in this new episode of Juno Live. I hope you started well the week, and let's continue to hack around our blog post editor that people will be able to fork and self-host on Juno. So I did minimal things during the weekend, like finishing this cloud indicator that we developed last week, right? That shows when data are saved or not on chain. And I guess here if I reload I get the entry, super. And I also added like a profile page. There is nothing right now, but it's there. And I also started working on a settings page where you can find your ID, which is useful when you want to register yourself as an administrator, since we decided that the collection to save document is reserved for manager, right? We see here the content is reserved for controller. All right, so I created a read-write controller for my principal here. All right, so what I want to do now is, we have seen that we can do bold and this kind of things, but I mean, if we write blog posts, I guess at some points we want to add images. So I'm not sure how we're gonna do that. I've googled a bit yesterday, or you can do that with TipTap, but I'm not sure if it's too complicated, if we want to integrate that with a nice UX. Anyway, so let's try to add an upload of images. Like uploading an image is not too complex. Uploading to Juno not gonna be too complex. It's more like how to integrate that with TipTap. I know how to do it with the DOM, but not with that tool. So yeah, let's have a look. Upload, I guess. Image example, image extension. So what do we have here? Image, blah blah blah. Add an image from URL. No, it's not what I want. There is a set. All right. So one way to do that is we add a button. We start a busy spinner, and then we integrate that. It's maybe not super user friendly, but that's probably easy to do to get started. Yeah. Otherwise, we can do more fancy things, I think. But so that's the same doc. Why I'm looking the same documentation again? Oh no, it's different. All right. No, we don't want base 64. Yeah, let's do the simple way. All right, so let's install this. Okay, then what do we have to do? Should we register that? I guess so, here in the extension of TipTap. So I guess here we're gonna put that image stuff, and we have to add it as an extension. Well, I just installed it now. Yeah, maybe I should open the right project. That's gonna be a bit easier. So what I was looking for, tip tap slash extension. Yes, so here, and it's funny that they are not all the same. Anyway, all right, so this gives us the ability to add this. So now we want to add a button upload here, I guess, right? So do we have bold or something? Icon bold, where's that used? I will zoom here in my editor before I start coding like a madman. Alright, so here we have our toolbar, and I'm not sure I want to, yeah. What is that use? So we have the header, and the header is used in the editor, and the editor I guess is here, and here we have on update. So yeah, I guess we're gonna do the same. We're gonna pass a callback to upload the image. This way we have like kind of agnostic editor, and yeah, something like that. All right, so let's do like component called editor image, right? Not too bad. Definitely gonna need this. Script, right? And so here we're gonna have editor image, plus the editor, and here we add an action. Disabled, we also gonna need this. All right, and so let's have Nikon upload, I guess, and we're gonna pick that. That's Google icon. So upload. Wait, come on. Seriously? What's the proper path? Cloud upload? Yeah. There's nothing better. Seriously, what's a standard icon? Like this. So crazy. Like this one. All right, so we get the SVG. It's an idea of my colleague Maxims. He pointed out that it's handy like to keep the source as comment, so you know where that comes from if you want to get it back and this kind of things. Right, and here we're gonna have icon upload, and in the text file we have bold, so here we're gonna upload image, upload an image. Right, so now we should have the 2, right? Not too bad. And we need a wrapper for this because that's kind of... Is there a roll toolbar? Is that aside? Oh, so much question. Wait. Ah, it's already aside here. Ah, alright, so here style long. I copied it from my other project. That's why it has all those Tailwind classes. So display, seriously, display flex wrap, and we can have a gap of, yeah, something like that. What does it look like? This, and if there is a zillion button at some point, yeah, we're gonna have the flex wrap. All right. Okay. So we have a button. Now we need an input type hidden. So I'm not gonna reinvent the wheel again. So I bet I have that here. So type file, you see. All right, so we want next to this button we want an input field that has an on-change. Yeah, all right. And on-change has an ugly cast, so don't judge me on that. And we want the file. Okay. And we're gonna have, let's see what we do. Let's right now I will just make a const. Let's iterate from here. And what do we have? A placeholder. No, not really. Opacity, not really. Ah, accept. I think we should accept. They don't have that here. Accept image. Yeah, let's accept PNG and JPEG for now. All right, and like this. But here now we see it, which is ugly. So what we want to do is we want to offset it like visibility hidden, opacity 0, so it's still here, but then at some point he will so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put like this. Yeah, so we always gonna have it, so we just gonna jump, because once I tried with I think you cannot have it like display done would not work. You have to have it like this. All right, and here we need a reference, so input gonna be be a state HTML input element or undefined. And here we bind this, I think. Yes. More P, right? So now when I click the button, this one I'm gonna keep it because we're gonna need it. So when I click the button, I actually want to open the selector. So when I click this, it should open the input. Yes. All right, super. So now we need an image. Yeah, let's save this image here. All right. So what accept is not defined. Come on. All right. So if I, of course, do we want to accept SVG? Oh. Then we're gonna upload them and reference them as image, so it's not too dangerous. So I guess, what's the MIME type? SVG? Is that correct? Oh. All right. Okay, and here we have the file. So we are good, we get the file. All right, so what I wanted to check yeah, no, we are good. Okay, so on upload image, right? Or on image to upload, which is a bit better. We're gonna have a file and we're gonna return the URL of the file. And because that doesn't mean anything, we're gonna do that. But it can also return an error, so we will return did I use here as pattern? Result. Okay, or error. Voila. So we're gonna return result okay or error and potentially an URL. All right, great. And so here we're gonna have on image to upload. I will repeat this multiple times, so let's create a type. Do you have editor here? Not yet, huh? So let's create a editor, and here we're gonna say export interface on image to upload result, and here we put this. Yeah, that's a bit cleaner. Tac 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 tac. On header, on toolbar. Voila. Yeah, I'm gonna need a context at some points, but let's just do that the ugly way. For now. Okay, so I pass down that dot callback. So toolbar, no, we need it in the header, right, and we need it in the editor here. This way we editor, blah 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 here, blah 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 there, blah 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 no here. Okay. Do we want to show a warning if no file is selected? No, because I guess we are fine with it. Change. And here what we're gonna do is this, let's go, and here we're gonna pass the file, but it's a promise, so we want to have that await, and we want to get the result, and this means that this should be async. And if this is async on change here, no, it's fine. All right. So now, where the editor is used is here. Ooh, all right. We want to have a callback, and we're gonna implement that in a service, because otherwise it will be a bit cluttered. So what we call that? Yeah, whatever. We can always rename later. So image.services.ts, right? So export const. What's the name on? Sync, and here we have the file. What? I gave a type. Ah, it's just the return type. Oh, my bad. All right. So blah 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 promise. Okay, blah blah blah. And we have a file. So now we want to implement the upload asset. So storage, development, and we just want to implement this, right? But we want to do that a bit cleanly, right? So upload file, that's no question. And as the data I get, we're gonna have the file, and we want to the collection images. So what we're gonna do in that case is we create a collection images that only us, the controller, can write and also read. Okay. But then we want to make the images kind of private until they are published. So what we're gonna do is here we're gonna create a window random, crypto random UUID. We add the UUID as token. This way only those who know the name of the image and the token can actually access it, right? And if it works as expected, here I get a key and I say that I want the URL. So do I get that? Full pass, the full pass and pass name, blah blah blah. Yes, the download URL. No, I guess we can return that. Alright, but if there is an error, I want probably to throw something like that. Alright, and something went wrong. Upload image. Oh. Something went wrong while uploading your image. Yeah, it's not really user friendly, but at least it's a label. There with the error, and in that case we return result error. What? Huh. Yeah, technically it can be better, David. So it's either result OK and string, or it's result error. Ooh. Yeah, it's a bit nicer. So here we have now result OK, and in that case we need the URL. All right. So now that we have that, I think that technically speaking we can go here, import that function, and just pass it because it has the same name. Okay. Collection, yeah. Both, yeah, could work. Let's see, so here, if we now try this, what's happening? Nothing? Yeah. It worked out, you see? We have the image here that has been uploaded with that token, as I told you. Now, for example, if here I don't if I don't provide the right token, then it does not work. Yeah, it's not a nice error, but it does not work. So it's not too bad, but what I want to do also is busy.start, and here we're gonna have finally busy.stop, and blah blah blah. So we get the URL back, and if everything goes right, where are we in the component? Here we should get so if result equals error, yeah, that's not a good idea, because I'm gonna do result. Yeah, it's a bit dumb. Result. Yeah, anyway, so here we have the URL, right? So then we can do that stuff we have seen here at the beginning of the call, this one, and technically here, why is it undefined? Okay, yeah, because we don't have particular checks anywhere. Yeah, YOLO. Okay, So how does that look? Nice. It's not perfect, but I mean, at least it works, right? So if I take, for example, let's do a screenshot of something else. Here, I'm never sure if we should not my screenshot. So here and here we do. That's gonna be a usability issue that I have to fix, because at some point you don't see the button anymore. So here, nice. Really cool. And I guess here, if I copy the address, yeah, it works. And if we go here in the storage, we have the images, we have the first image, we see the token. At some point here I should add a button to regenerate the token, that would be nice. And here we see the second image. Yeah, it's really great. Wait, what? Do I have 2 times images? No. Oh, it's a bit, I don't know why here I have images, collection images. Ah, yeah, maybe at some point we can shorten that here, but yeah. Anyway, cool. So let's lint. At least we can add an image. Not perfect, but we can add one. So busy is here. Okay. So here in this one here we have this. Okay. All right. So now that we have the bare minimal function, I wonder if we should start working on publishing if we are not even able to list those. Yeah, I was thinking starting working, but we need the metadata. Yeah, so on one end we want to publish that so that it becomes public, right? And once we want to do that, we want to provide a title and a description for our blog post, right? Because we want to add some metadata so that it's SEO friendly and this kind of thing. On the other end, we, in addition to new, we also want to have like a menu point, I don't know, like my post or whatever, where I can find all my blog posts and I don't know, like edit them, start editing from there, deleting them. And for that, I also need a title and a description, otherwise I just list stuff that are empty. So this means that we have to save metadata, right? And when we will publish, I think we will allow to edit those data, but we also want to generate those like, yeah, like this. Like the title, I mean, generally speaking, when you start a blog post, you're gonna write a title and a small text at the start. So those two can become like the title and the description of the metadata. But when we save stuff, I think we just have like a plain, it's a string markdown. So yeah, we can do a regex, but that's not really where I shine. And fun fact, we're already saving metadata, so that's cool. So either in the web worker we parse the markdown to HTML, and then we pick the title if there is one and the first line if there is one to generate the metadata. Unless it's published, I guess, or no, when it's empty. When? No, it's a bit dumb, no? No. And or we read the value when we synchronize the data, because the issue is that the web worker does not have access to this info. But I'm sure parsing HTML markdown to HTML has a cost. But yeah, we will need that. We need that at some point anyway. Showdown. Oh yeah, this has a cost and it's relatively outdated. Market. I started it, so I don't want to introduce something that is too heavy. Let's do it. Let's have a look. Where are those metadata saved? So here we init. Yeah, that's right. We have set content, we have set asset, we have set metadata that is not used right now. Because we just do a set content. Where is that saved? Yeah. So every time there is an update, we save the plain context, right? And here we have the editor, and the editor as a div, and the content is an article. I'm not sure what's the best approach, so no, let's just do it this way, and we can interact at the top of that. Do we really want this? Okay, so title is document, and yeah, mixing those stuff. So we're gonna have yeah, since it's just temporary, or at least as long as I don't know, I will do it like savages. So brutal, let's do like this, article, and in the article we will check if there is a H1, right? Right. Super. So this and first paragraph. So CSS neighbor selector. I always forget. All right. So here. Yes, so here we're gonna do await set metadata, and what do we have in the metadata? Post metadata schema, a title, and we're gonna give also a description. All right, so not empty string. Oh, 9. No, so title dot, what do we have? Element type. Oh la, it's been a while that I did not do node type. Node type HTML element. Yeah, so if node type, ooh, and not empty string, title dot text content. Yes, what? Then we got title gonna be title dot text content. Okay, and come on. And we do the same for the description. So first paragraph is an element, and if it's text content, like this. All right, and by setting this, I guess that when there is a change, we gonna we have it, right? But yeah, fine. All right, then what? Interesting. So in the worker, whoa, so fresh. Here we're gonna have the editable metadata and the doc metadata, and here we have the metadata. Funny. All right, so here I reload. All right, but I'm not sure we want to save the metadata every time. Like, I mean, if they are similar, doesn't make sense to right? I mean, if we have the same value, if we have not the same value, it makes sense to persist them, but if they are the same, doesn't make sense to persist. So let's do a small improvement here. if the document has already been saved in the data store, and doc metadata.description equals editable metadata.description, and the same for title. What? There's a mistake? Title? I'm not that crazy, no? No changes need to be persisted in the backend. What? Doc metadata. Yeah, all right. API. Okay. So now if I change this, that doesn't change, right? It's just the content that gets updated. But if here I would go and say hello world, this will be my description, then we're gonna save that, which is nice. And on the other side, if here we have an image, then I'm kind of surprised. Oh yeah? What? Why is... Where is my ACI code? Here, huh? Null. So then in that case, what do we have? Yeah, right. In that case, here we get, what do we get? Title, key. So we see that's not the same. So if non-nullish and doc title est égal à editable, so here I should come here, edit, oopla. Okay, and we save that on chain with the version, and then we update the metadata doc, which is correct, and then why so oh, ça c'est fort de café. Sorry, excuse my French. I still got... What am I? Drunk? Ah, yeah. Alright. So you see here, I destruct the data which contain the description field, and here I destruct the editable which does not contain the description field anymore. So we keep this one. So instead of destructing here. We're just gonna go for title like this. So if title and la la la, then else undefined. There. And now I guess it should work. We should, yeah, of course, if I remove the console log, then we see nothing. Yeah. Here we have it. Yes, you see, because now I have that, but if I remove it, then we don't have it. Nice. All right, so this is like a nice step, because thanks to this metadata we will able to implement the list so that we can find our stuff, and then we can start the publishing, because then we have what we need to start working on that. All right, save title and description in metadata. All right, so we're gonna call it a day for today. We have built the upload asset, which enrich our blog post, and we have started working on the publishing steps and finding back our blog post by saving automatically the metadata. Nice, nice. All right, so that was for today. Enjoy your week. As always, if there is any question or suggestion, ping me anytime.